Ladies and gentlemen, it's been great having you this afternoon as we welcome you to the second quarterfinal contest for the Tertiary Business Science Challenge 2024 version 6.0. Now this time, it is one between two schools from the Southeast Zone. The contest is pitching 6 of the Southeast Zone schools that qualified to the quarterfinals. It's pitching 2 against each other. The contest is between the University of Ghana and the Ghana Communication Technology University. GCTU was the second best losing school at the end of the round of 16 contest. A position I can confidently say that they were not so enthused about. Ladies and gentlemen, that position is what has pitched them against the University of Ghana this afternoon. For University of Ghana, they were the Southeast Zone champion. And in the last contest, they made a statement that was very loud and clear, with 89 points against the Indum School of Business and Technology. Yes, a win that sent shivers down the spine of all other schools. But of course, GCTU know Legon so well. They are from the same zone, and therefore they know the tricks that they use. GCTU have told me that this afternoon they will send the University of Ghana home packing. And I believe them because they look so determined to do just that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a contest that promises to be exciting. It is a contest that will be engaging. Yes, the Southeast Zone champions against one of the schools from the Southeast Zone. The contest is brought to us by Graphic Business in partnership with the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana and the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. It is streaming live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Our media partners are TV3 Daily Graphic and Graphic Online. Our proud sponsors MTN, PwC, CompuGhana, GlycoLife, Ghana National Association of Teachers, as well as Gwel Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, let's welcome contestants from the two institutions as they join me on stage. Gentlemen and lady, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourselves, beginning from the University of Ghana.
So, Jonathan Nina, BSc Accounting, level 300.
Peter Emeka Ike, level 300, Banking and Finance.
Edwin NTA, level 400, Finance and Economics.
You are welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
What do we have from GCTU?
Nakute Ford, accounting level 400.
Lamte David Jr., Banking and Finance level 400.
Abigail Tego, accounting with computing level 400.
You are welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, so before we do battle, let me find out from you, GCTU, how has the preparation been for this contest?
We've done our best, and we are hoping for the best.
How differently have you prepared for this contest?
Like you earlier said, we know our zonal champions very well, so yeah, we've prepared.
That's fine. University of Ghana, how has the preparation been for this contest?
So the preparation has been very good.
Please speak louder.
So the preparations has been very good, and then we believe you're on track to bringing home the national trophy.
How do you see yourselves performing in this contest?
All what I would say is that to whom much is given, much is expected. Thank you.
Interesting. To whom much is given, certainly much should be expected, ladies and gentlemen. Much has been given to these two schools. Their coaches, their schools expect a lot more from them. We have the gentleman and lady. Yes. 5 gentlemen, 1 lady. And yellow and, that should be ash, right? Yes. Yellow and ash. And the team from the University of Ghana in all white. Yes. I should think I'm wearing a color that is in between. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be exciting. Let's do battle. We go straight into round 1. Remember, the contest is organized in 5 rounds. Round 1 is on theory, round 2 on calculations, round 3 is our business case of the day. Round 4A, graphic business segment. Round 4B, true or false segment. The fifth and final round will be riddles. Please, are we ready, University of Ghana?
Yes, we are.
Are you ready, GCTU?
Yes, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am ready. My name is Al Hassan Yusuf Trauli, and I love academic violence. Let's have some violence this hot Monday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We begin with the University of Ghana. Theory questions. Now in this round, I'm going to ask you questions that border on theory. Each of you have the opportunity of answering 7 major questions. For a major question, you have 10 seconds to give an answer. If it is right, you have 3 points. If it's wrong, there is a bonus. That school has 5 seconds to give an answer for 1 point. You have 2 attempts only at a major question, 1 attempt at a bonus. We begin this round from the University of Ghana. Eugene. Now, what is management oversight and how does it support internal control? What is management oversight and how does it support internal controls?
Okay, so management oversight in auditing has to do with the management of the organization, exercising checks on the internal controls or the controls that are in place to check fraud and error, and also the controls that are in place to make sure that organization is running smoothly. And then its importance in internal control is that it facilitates or it ensures that the controls are performing adequately. That is, robust controls are performing adequately to check fraud and error in the organization.
Yes, that is correct. GCTU, what is the concept of third-party due diligence and how does it support internal control? Third-party due diligence and how does it support internal control?
Okay, so this is where the auditing procedures is being conducted by a third person, and it's being conducted by a third person to detect fraud. Like this particular auditor or this person who conducts this auditing process is not part of the company.
No, I'm not taking that. You've been bailed out. Bonus for the University of Ghana.
So with the third party due diligence, it has to do with knowing more about the third party. That is the control environment of the third party, its operations and its systems. And then with the internal control, you are able to know the systems which the third party is using in running its business operations.
Yes, that is correct. University of Ghana, your major question. Labor rate variance is a concept in cost accounting and managerial accounting used to measure the difference between the actual cost of labor and the expected or standard cost of labor for the actual hours worked. It occurs when the actual wage rate paid to workers differ from the standard wage rate. You have to explain briefly 3 causes of labor rate variance. Briefly explain 3 causes of labor rate variance.
Okay, so we have one, the change in the wage rate. So the change in the wage rate is going to cause a variance in the labor rate. And then also you have the experience. So the experience level of the labor is going to warrant an increase in the wage that is going to be payable to labor, and therefore there's going to be a variance. And also you talk about the number of hours at which labor is operating. And where the number of hours is high, it's going to warrant a variance, labor rate variance.
Yes, that is correct. GCTU, labor efficiency variance, measures the difference between the actual hours worked and the standard hours expected for actual production, valued at the standard labor rate. Labor efficiency variance occurs when the actual time taken to complete a task differs from the standard time. You have to briefly explain 3 causes of labor efficiency variance. Briefly explain 3 causes of labor efficiency variance.
So we have the number of hours used to complete the task. Then we also have the and we also have the the
Have the how well the employees are able to
I can't hear you.
how well the employees are able to utilize the resources.
So we have one.
All right, so I want one person to talk. Tell me exactly what you want to say. Just one person should speak.
Okay, so yes, we have one, the resources. This is where how laborers or the employees are able to utilize the resources. Yeah, then the number of hours worked. This is the variance that comes in place where maybe you work more than the standard hours given or less. Yeah.
So 2 out of 3. All right. University of Ghana, your major question. Deflation and disinflation are both related to changes in the inflation rate, but represent different economic phenomena. What is the difference between deflation and disinflation? What is the difference between deflation and disinflation?
So the difference between deflation is the consistent fall in the prices of goods and services, and then disinflation has to do with the temporary fall in the price of goods and services. So deflation is consistent reduction in the price of goods and services, and then for disinflation, it has to do with the temporal falling of price, but then price code. So it's not really consistent as compared to that of the deflation.
And so to add to it, with the disinflation, it has to do with the adverse of the inflation. That is, there is no the prices of the general prices are not increasing.
So I'll give you 2 out of 3. I'll give you 2 out of 3. I'll explain why. All right, so maybe let me just explain. Disinflation is also just like inflation. The difference between disinflation and inflation is that there is a decreasing rate. Okay, so although general prices are rising, it has a decreasing rate. I hope you get that. That is disinflation. But your explanation for deflation was correct. Now, GCTU, stagflation and hyperinflation are both economic conditions involving inflation, but they are distinct phenomena with different underlying causes and effects. What is the difference between stagflation and hyperinflation? What is the difference between stagflation and hyperinflation?
So when we talk about hyperinflation, this is when the increase in there's a high rate of increase in prices of goods and services, and stagflation is that the rate at which there is inflation is steep to a certain rate. It doesn't move. It doesn't cross a certain level.
Which one?
The
Stagflation.
Yes.
So 2 out of 3. So I'm taking your explanation for hyperinflation, but your definition for stagflation is not as it should be. Yes, it's a situation where the economy experiences stagnant growth, high unemployment, and then high inflation simultaneously. So there's high unemployment, there's high inflation at the same time. That's what we call stagflation. But hyperinflation is where inflation rate is extremely high, and I'm giving you the point for that. For our next set of questions, yes, 1, 2, 3, no 1, 2. Next set of questions, still with the University of Ghana. Let's do some finance and investment. Okay. When we say sell in May and go away in investment, what does it mean? What does sell in May and go away mean in investment strategy?
for in investments, when we say sell in May and go away, has to do with the selling of a financial instrument, and then with the intent is that you sell that financial instrument and then you expect that financial instrument to fall in price. So because you are selling now, you are able to gain. So you are selling now and then you expect that that financial instrument is going to decrease further in the future.
I'll give you 1 out of 3. Yeah, so the selling part is why I'm giving you the 1. Essentially, the investment strategy is that you sell the stock in the month of May and you re-enter the market somewhere in November. The strategy is based on a historical pattern where stock markets tends to perform better somewhere in November. So investors will tend to sell their stocks generally in the month of May, and then they will come back when the market is performing better somewhere in November later. I hope you get that. Yes. Now, GCTU, what is the meaning of buy the rumor, sell the fact in finance and investment? What is the meaning of buy the rumor, sell the fact in finance and investment?
So, the concept buy the rumor and sell the fact states that when there's a rumor about the decrease or the prices of securities are low, you buy them. Then when you have them, then you sell them at their actual prices. That's the fact.
Please come again, Abigail.
Buy the rumor and sell the fact. So this happens when there is a rumor about securities that maybe there is low prices or the prices of securities has fallen. Due to that, you follow that rumor and you buy those securities. Then later on, you sell it at their actual prices.
I'll take that. For our next set of questions, we will begin from you. GCTU. Common preamble to the 2 schools. The District Assembly's Common Fund is established by the Local Governance Act, Act 936, as a fund created out of the Consolidated Fund to channel resources from the central government to the local government for development. Now, GCTU, you are to identify 3 sources of funds into the District Assembly's Common Fund, as stated in the Local Governance Act. Identify 3 sources of funds into the District Assembly's Common Fund.
They have donations, internally generated funds, and
taxes.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. University of Ghana, you are to identify 3 expenditure to be made from the Common Fund. Identify any 3 expenditure to be made from the District Assembly's Common Fund.
So we have 1 expenditure to be supporting infrastructure, that is infrastructure development. We also have scholarship, that is issuing of scholarship, and then we also have so infrastructure, we have scholarships, and we also have supporting the vulnerable in the society, like that has to do with providing essentials and goods of necessities to those who are vulnerable.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Bonus for GCTU.
The expenditures are expenditure for goods and services, compensation, then donations.
I won't take that as well. Those are not specifically mentioned. What you are talking about, all the issues that you are all mentioning, are when the funds finally hit the account of the local government. That is at the local government level. But what I'm talking about is the general District Assembly's Common Fund. We have disbursements that are made to MPs, or the MMDAs, disbursement made to the MMDAs, disbursement made to MPs, disbursement that are made to the regional coordinating councils, direct expenditures that are made on behalf of MMDAs, that is the direct transfers from central government, as well as administrative expenses incurred by the assembly, by the common fund secretariats. Those are expenditures that are specifically mentioned in the Local Governance Act. Our next set of questions, beginning or still with GCTU. Tax assessment is a process by which a tax authority determines the amount of tax an individual or business owes based on income, property, or other taxable activities or assets. There are different types of assessment that the Commissioner General may raise on a taxpayer. Now, GCTU, explain what we mean by preemptive assessment and give two factors that may give rise to preemptive assessment. What is preemptive assessment? Two conditions that may give rise to preemptive assessment.
So when preemptive assessment has to do with when the Commissioner General sees that the taxpayer does not provide or provide tax return. So the certain conditions are when there is reasonable grounds that the taxpayer will seize the country, and then when there is reasonable ground that the taxpayer there will be a possible
Please
liquidation.
speak into the microphone and clearly.
When there is the reasonable ground that there will be a liquidation, and as well as when the taxpayer engage in illegal activities.
Yes, that is correct. University of Ghana, yours is adjusted assessment. Adjusted assessment.
So with the adjusted assessment, this is issued by this is done by the Commissioner General, where there's to actually get a actual or the estimated assessment tax to be paid by the individual, and then with adjusted assessment, it is done based on conditions like where the amount made by the amount of assessment made by the individual is less or is not equal to what he or she should be paying, and then also when the Commissioner General thinks it is appropriate to adjust the amount to make up for the amount that is estimated to be payable by the individual.
How many conditions did you mention? Repeat the conditions.
So we have one, when the Commissioner General finds it appropriate to make an adjustment of the assessment made by the individual, and also when the Commissioner General realizes that there is a disparity between the assessment made by the individual and what should actually be made.
You are repeating the same condition in different ways, right?
So we have the first one to be.
So with the conditions, we have when the Commissioner General deems it appropriate to raise that adjusted assessment, and we also have when the tax liability computed by the individual is inaccurate. So hence, the Commissioner General want to adjust the wrong calculations that the individual has made.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. Now, essentially, when you look at the Income Tax Act, there are 3 conditions under which the Commissioner General will raise an adjusted assessment. The first one is where there is an issue or a case of fraud, where there's an issue of willful deceit, and then where there are omissions or errors in the assessment that has been made by the taxpayer. I hope that is clear. So the one point I'm giving to you is because of the mistake or the understatement that you mentioned. That is why I'm giving you that. So 2 out of 3. The last set of questions for this round, beginning with GCTU. GCTU, what is data mining? And how is it used in business intelligence? What is data mining and how is it used in business intelligence?
Data mining has to do with the process of finding data, finding relevant data in order to help in decision making. And it also has to do with getting the right data in order to make informed judgment.
So I'm going to give you 1 out of 3. University of Ghana, What is the role of dashboards in business intelligence? What is the role of dashboard in business intelligence?
So dashboard is an interactive form by which a business communicates to its users, and then the dashboard is used to communicate certain facts which others will not be able to read just by looking at the figures. So the dashboard works with the data of the company and then makes that data into visualization so that people will be able to comprehend and understand that in making their relevant decision. So the dashboard helps them simply to see, to visualize the data of the organization without having to go into the nooks and crannies of the data without any expertise.
Yes, that is correct. On that note, we come to the end of round one. We come to the end of round one. This is a second quarterfinal contest. It's between the University of Ghana and the GCTU. A place at the semi-final is at stake. One of these two schools will qualify to join the University of Cape Coast at the semi-final stage. Which school will it be? Will it be GCTU or the University of Ghana? Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round one, we wait for the scores. But remember that the program is streaming live on Facebook. At the end of round one, GCTU had 10 points. The University of Ghana had 15 points. We are going into round two, which will involve calculations. You are free to use your calculators. Each of you have the opportunity of answering 7 major questions. For a major question, you have 30 seconds to give an answer. If it's a bonus, you have 5 seconds to give an answer. You have 2 attempts only at a major question, 1 attempt at a bonus. Please, are we okay? We are beginning this round from the GCTU. GCTU. ICAG has identified the following activities and their cost. Activity A, 80,000 cedis. Activity B, 50,000 cedis. Activity C, 30,000 cedis. These activities drive cost in proportion to the number of orders processed, machine setups, and inspections conducted. During the period, there were 400 orders processed, 200 machine setups, and 500 inspections. You have to allocate the cost of each activity per unit of product A, which requires 100 orders, 50 setups, and 120 inspections. I take it again. ICAG has identified the following activities and their cost. Activity A, 80,000. Activity B, 50,000, and C is 30,000. These activities drive costs in proportion to the number of orders processed, machine setups, and inspections conducted. During the period, there were 400 orders processed, 200 machine setups, and 500 inspections. Allocate the cost of each activity per unit of product A, which required 100 orders, 50 setups, and 120 inspections. Even bailed out. Bonus for the University of Ghana.
So for the orders, we have 40,000. For the setup, we have 40,000, and for the inspection, we have 38,000, which will in total give us 118,000.
No, please, that is not correct. So we have 20,000 for activity A, B is 12,500, C is 7,200, giving a total of 39,700. Now your major question, University of Ghana. GTech has identified the following activities and their cost. Activity P is 60,000, K is 40,000, R is 30,000. These activities drive cost based on the number of design hours, testing hours, and production runs conducted. During the period, there were 500 design hours, 300 testing hours, and 200 production runs. Allocate these costs of each activity. Allocate the cost of each activity per unit of product Y, which required 100 design hours, 50 testing hours, and 20 production runs. I take it again. GTech has identified the following activities and their cost. Activity P is 60,000, Q is 40,000, R is 30,000. These activities drive costs based on the number of design hours, testing hours, and production runs conducted. During the period, there were 500 design hours, 300 testing hours, and 200 production runs. Allocate the cost of each activity per unit of product Y, which required 100 design hours, 50 testing hours, and 20 production runs.
So for the design hours, we have 6,000. For testing hours, we have the 5,000. And for production run, we have the 3,000. And then the total is going to be 14,000.
1 out of 3. The 3,000 is correct, the rest are wrong. Now your major question, GCTU. PwC purchases a vehicle for 90,000 cedis on April 1st, 2024. The estimated salvage value is 10,000 and the useful life is 6,000, or is 6 years, sorry. Calculate the depreciation expense for years 1, 4, and 6 using the sum of the years they get method. PwC purchases a vehicle for 90,000 on April 1st, 2024. The estimated salvage value is 10,000 and the useful life is 6 years. Calculate the depreciation expense for years 1, 4, and 6 using the sum of the years they get method.
So the depreciation expense for year 1 is 10,000. Then for year 4, 15,000. 40,000.
That is not correct. Bonus for the University of Ghana.
So the depreciation for year 1 is 22,857, and for year 4 is 11,428.51, and for year 6 is 3,809.52.
Unfortunately, one of them is correct, and because it's a bonus, I cannot give it to you. One of them is not correct, so I can't give it to you for a bonus. I won't say which one, but one of them is wrong. Now your major question, University of Ghana. CompuGhana purchases machinery on 1st July 2023 for 100,000 cedis with an estimated useful life of 5 years and a residual value of 10,000. Calculate the depreciation expense for years 1, 3, and 5 using the sum of the years they get method. CompuGhana purchases machinery on 1st July 2023 for 100,000 cedis with an estimated useful life of 5 years and a residual value of 10,000. Calculate the depreciation expense for years 1, 3, and 5 using the sum of the years they get method.
So the depreciation for year 1 is 30,000. Depreciation for year 3 is 18,000, and the depreciation for year 5 is 6,000.
Is that your final answer?
So the depreciation for year 3 is 18,000. Depreciation for year 5 is 6,000. Then the depreciation for year 1 is going to give us 27,000.
2 out of 3. So your problem is the year 1. In the bonus question, you got the year 1 wrong. That is why, otherwise the years 3 and 5 are correct. So 2 out of 3. GCTU A project requires an initial investment of 200,000 cedis. It is expected to generate annual cash flows of 50,000 cedis for the next 5 years. The discount rate is 10%. Calculate the NPV of the project. A project requires an initial investment of 200,000 cedis. It is expected to generate annual cash flows of 50,000 cedis for the next 5 years. The discount rate is 10%. Calculate the NPV of the project.
the the
The answer is
I've given you enough time. Bonus for the University of Ghana.
All right. So the NPV of the project is going to give us negative 10,460.66.
Yes, that is correct. Now your major question, University of Ghana. A project requires an initial investment of 200,000 and is expected to generate annual cash flows of 60,000 for 5 years. If the discount rate is 8%, what is the NPV of the project? A project requires an initial investment of 200,000 and is expected to generate annual cash flows of 60,000 for 5 years. If the discount rate is 8%, what is the NPV of the project?
The NPV of the project is 39,562.60.
Yes, that is correct. Next set of questions, still beginning with GCTU. GCTU. CompuGhana launches a new product which generates sales of 100,000 cedis. However, the sales of an existing product decreases by 30,000 cedis. If the total sales of both products are 220,000, what is the cannibalization rate on overall sales? I take it again. CompuGhana launches a new product which generates sales of 100,000 cedis. However, the sales of an existing product decreases by 30,000. If the total sales for both products are 220,000, what is the cannibalization rate on overall sales?
%13.6%.
Yes, that is correct. University of Ghana. Glycolife introduces a new brand which captures 20% of the market share. However, the market share of the company's existing brand decreases by 8%. If the total market share of both brands is 30%, what is the cannibalization rate on the overall sales? Glycolife introduces a new brand which captures 20% of the market share. However, the market share of the company's existing brand increases by 8%. If the total market share of both brands is 30%, what is the cannibalization rate on overall sales?
26.67%.
Yes, that is correct. For the next set of questions, we begin with the University of Ghana. Eugene, calculate the overall equipment efficiency for a machine that operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. During the past month, the machine was available for production for 95% of the time. Its performance efficiency was 80% and the quality was 90%. I take it again. Calculate the overall equipment efficiency for a machine that operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. During the past month, the machine was available for production for 95% of the time. Its performance efficiency was 80% and the quality rate was 90%.
So we have 445.2.
No, please, you have one other chance.
So we have 265%.
It is not correct. Bonus for GCTU.
16.67%.
What?
16.6%.
No, it is not 16.67. It is 68.4%. Now your major question. A factory machine runs 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. Over the past month, the machine was available for production for 90% of the time. Its performance efficiency was 85% and the quality rate was 95%. Calculate the overall equipment efficiency for the machine. A factory machine runs 16 hours a day, 6 hours a week. During the past month, the machine was available for production for 90% of the time. Its performance efficiency was 85% and its quality rate was 95%. Calculate the overall equipment efficiency for the machine. No, it is not 86.4%. Speak into the microphone. That is correct. 72.6% is correct. University of Ghana, your major question. The fourth term of an AP, arithmetic progression, is 3 times the first, and the seventh term exceeds twice the third term by 1. Find the first term and the common difference. The fourth term of an AP is 3 times the first, and the seventh term exceeds twice the third term by 1. Find the first term and the common difference. Even bailed out. Bonus for GCTU.
The common difference is 5.
That is not correct. I asked for first term and common difference, but the common difference is not 5. The first term is 3, common difference is 2. Now your question, GCTU. The sum of the 4th and 8th terms of an AP is 24, and the sum of the 6th and 10th terms is 34. Find the first term and the common difference of the AP. The sum of the 4th and 8th terms of an AP is 24, and the sum of the 6th and 10th terms is 34. Find the first term and the common difference of the AP.
The first term is 2 and the common difference is also 2.
That is not correct. You have one other chance. Even bailed out. Bonus for the University of Ghana. The common difference to be? That is correct. Our last set of questions for this round, beginning with the University of Ghana once again. ABC Bank Limited, a commercial bank, submitted its estimate for the 2022 year of assessment with a profit before tax of 120,000 cedis. Compute the financial sector recovery levy payable for each installment. ABC Bank Limited, a commercial bank, submitted its estimate for the 2022 year of assessment with a profit before tax of 120,000 cedis. Compute the financial sector recovery levy for each installment. University of Ghana. No, it is not 30,000. You have one other chance. That is also not correct. Bonus for GCTU.
3,000.
It is not 3,000. It is not 3,000. Now your major question, GCTU. XYZ Bank Limited, a commercial bank, submitted its estimate for the 2023 year of assessment with a profit before tax of 300,000 cedis. Compute the financial sector recovery levy payable for each installment. XYZ Bank Limited, a commercial bank, submitted its estimate for the 2023 year of assessment with a profit before tax of 300,000 cedis. Compute the financial sector recovery levy payable for each installment.
$30,000.
No, that is not correct.
75,000. 75,000.
No, that is also not correct. Bonus for the University of Ghana.
16,500.
No, it is also not correct. The correct answer is 3,750. University of Ghana, your major question was 1,500. Now, financial sector recovery levy is at a rate of 5% of the profit before tax. So you multiply 5% by the profit before tax figure I give you, and I divide by 4 because it's paid quarterly. On that note, we come to the end of round 2. The contest is between the University of Ghana and the Ghana Communication Technology University. We have 4 more rounds to go. Round 3, round 4A, round 4B, and the round 5. Ladies and gentlemen, there's still a long way to go. The winner of this contest will progress to the semi-final stage. Already, one school is in waiting, and that is the University of Cape Coast. At the end of round 2, the scores. Ghana Communication Technology University had 6 points. The University of Ghana had 11 points. We are going into round 3. This is the business case of the day. There's a common problem before them. They may pick it up for us to go through together. It is a very simple one. The accountant of CompuGhana Limited has provided the following information on a project the executive management is considering for a new line of business. We have 5 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now revenue for year 1, 250,000, year 2, 220, year 3, 300, year 4, 350, year 5, 400. Fixed operating cost, 65,000, 55,000, 75,000, 87,000 and 100,000. Then there are notes. Variable cost is 30% of revenue. 2. Non-cash fixed cost included in the fixed operating cost is 30,000 cedis. 3. The cost of the project to be 500,000 cedis with cash residual value of 30,000 cedis in year 5. The cost of capital is 15%. So your duty is to analyze the project and advise if the project should be undertaken or not. So you have to compute the NPV and advise if the project should be undertaken or not. Please, that is your business case of the day. You may start work now.
ICAG, we stand for leadership and we are inspired to offer more. Leadership stands up to be answerable. We use our national and international conferences to tell our story and hold ourselves to high global benchmarks. Leadership is where brilliance is rewarded. We reward brilliance with scholarships for postgraduate students. Leadership thrives on fresh ideas. Our Tertiary Business Sense Challenge makes you see business from a different perspective. Leadership is not about today. We keep an eye on tomorrow by providing internships in high-ranked institutions to inspire the next generation of business leaders. Leadership is acquiring ATSWA, CA Professional, Post-Chartered Diploma from ICAG. ICAG, where leaders become more. Source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day.
The very essence of leadership is to become more. At ICAG, we stand for leadership and we are inspired to offer more. Leadership stands up to be answerable. We use our national and international conferences to tell our story and hold ourselves to high global benchmarks. Leadership is where brilliance is rewarded. We reward brilliance with scholarships for postgraduate students. Leadership thrives on fresh ideas. Our Tertiary Business Sense Challenge makes you see business from a different perspective. Leadership is not about today. We keep an eye on tomorrow by providing internships in high-ranked institutions to inspire the next generation of business leaders. Leadership is acquiring ATSWA, CA Professional, Post-Chartered Diploma from ICAG. ICAG, where leaders.
Adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information.
All right, please stop work. Please stop work. GCTU, can I have your answer? Abigail. Sorry. Thank you.
Publications, graphic, truth and accuracy every day.
Plus C.
Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Welcome family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications. Graphic, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and available on www.graphicnewsplus.com. newsblast.com as you remain abreast of and keep pace with on-the-minute news updates on the go. Home sweet home. Vogue family and friends. Choose the bundle that best works for you from as low as 10 Ghana cedis weekly for unlimited access to all publications, graphics, truth and accuracy every day. Information is a great source of power, adding to your options, knowing that quality and standard remains intact, and our content, which is accepted as truth and accuracy every day, is accessible on the go. Access your favorite daily graphic and our weeklies, The Mirror, Graphic Business, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports on Graphic News Plus app. It's the digital replicas of our work. Download Graphic News Plus app on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store.
The very essence of leadership is to become more. At ICAG, we stand for
were given a business case of the day, something on the computation of the net present value. Net present value is essentially the present value of cash inflows minus the present value of outflows. So we're expecting them to compute the present value of inflows and then subtract the initial investment, and that will give you the net present value, and then you comment on the decision. So if you're able to get a net present value, you get 1 point. The decision should also give you another point. But before one can compute the net present value, you need to go through some steps. So let's see what we are supposed to have gone through. The question gave us figures for sales or revenues. It also gave us fixed operating cost, and then told us that the variable cost is 30% of the revenue, while the non-cash fixed cost included in the fixed operating cost was 30,000. The cost of the project, we are told, was 500,000 with a residual value of 30,000 year 5. The cost of capital of 15%. So now revenue figures 250, 220, 300, 350, 400,000 for the various years. Variable cost, we are told, is 30%. So we find 30% of each of the figures. That should give us a variable cost. And then we get our contribution margin, which is essentially the difference between our sales revenue and our variable cost. Then there was fixed cost, fixed operating costs were given. But we are told that the non-cash fixed cost that is part of this is 30,000. Essentially, we are dealing with the cash. So we will subtract the non-cash fixed cost of 30,000 for each of the figures. 65,000 minus 35 should give you, minus 30 should give you 35 in that order. So we get 35,000 for year 1, 25 for year 2, 45 for year 3, year 4 is 57, and year 5 is 70. We are told that there is a residual value. at the end of the project life. That is 30,000. Yes. Essentially, we are dealing with cash flow. We don't have anything to do with depreciation. Yes. So once you get a net cash flow, the next thing is to get your discounting factor, which discounting factor we are going to use at 15% for the various periods. So 0.87, 0.756, 0.658, 0.572, 0.497 as discounting factor for the 5 years. And once you do this, you multiply the discounting factor and the net cash flow to get the present value of the inflows. So if you're able to do all of these, you have about 32 ticks times 1/4, that should give you 8. And then from there, once you have the present value of inflows, you sum them up to get a total cash inflow, and then you subtract the initial investment from that figure to get 54,710 as a net present value. Of course, once it is positive, you accept the projects. So that is what we are looking out for. So the NPV should be 1 mark, decision should be 1 mark. Now let's look at what was done by the two institutions. I'm beginning with GCTU. GCTU. I don't even know how to go about it. GCTU, I'm not so sure what you were attempting to do in your computations. So present value of the project 65,000 plus over 1 plus 0.1. I'm not sure that is what we're expecting. You need to be able to add all the inflows before you discount it, and that is not what you did. But of course, because of the ticks, you got a variable cost for each of them correct. The fixed cost, we are dealing with the cash one, not the non-cash. What you stated was a cash, the non-cash fixed cost. That is not what we are looking out for. So that is also wrong. In the end, I'm able to count only 6 ticks for you. Times 1/4, that should be 1.5 out of 10. So GCT 1.5 out of 10. Now, University of Ghana, you got the revenue figures, you've provided those. The cash fixed cost, you provided that as well, 35,025 and all of that. Variable cost, you got all correct. Profit before depreciation, you indicated the profit. Indeed, from here, there's not supposed to be anything like depreciation. I'm sure you've realized that, yes. So depreciation that you brought in has affected the remainder of the work. But of course, you also brought the residual value, that is correct. You were able to also indicate the cost of capital for the various period. You'll get some ticks there. In all, I'm able to count 20 ticks for you. Times 1/4 should give you 5 marks. Because you brought the depreciation, it also affected your NPV as well as your decision. So for your effort, you get 5 out of 10. So ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round 3, GCTU had 1.5, University of Ghana had 5 points. We are going into round 4. Before then, the schools want to effect substitutions. Please go ahead with your substitutions. Let's do that quickly. Gentlemen, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Beginning from GCTU, please introduce yourself.
I'm Justice Kofi Pabo, BSc Management, level 400.
Okay, and from the University of Ghana?
Prince Ascot Bodo, level 400 Accounting.
You are welcome,
Thank
sis. All right, so we are going into the graphic business segment, round 4A. In this round, I'm going to ask you questions on some stories that appeared in the graphic business newspaper. Each of you have the opportunity of answering 7 major questions. If you get your major question correct, that is 3 points. For a bonus, you have 1 point. 10 seconds to give an answer for a major question. 5 seconds if it's a bonus. 2 attempts only at a major question, 1 attempt at a bonus. Please, are we ready? GCTU, are you ready, University of Ghana? We are starting this round from the University of Ghana. Common preamble to the two of you. Common preamble. The recent surge in maize prices, which has seen an 80% increase in just 8 months, is a stark reminder of the vulnerability of Ghana's food security efforts. In the editorial of 10th September, the graphic business takes a look at one of government flagship programs in the agricultural sector, the Planting for Food and Jobs. I hope we get a preamble. GCTU, you get it. Now, University of Ghana mentioned 3 successes chalked under the PFJ program as stated in the article. Mention 3 successes of the Planting for Food and Jobs program as stated in the article.
Okay, so it has increased the maize production by 71%. It has also increased the average income of farmers by 30%, and it has also reduced the maize import bill by 40%.
That is correct. Now, GCTU, mention 3 challenges hampering the PFJ program as stated in the article. Mention 3 challenges hampering the Planting for Food and Jobs program as stated in the article.
We have the imbalance in supply and demand. We also have management instability. Then we also have harboring of the products by farmers.
I won't take that. Even bailed out. Bonus for the University of Ghana.
Okay, so we have market fluctuations, we have inadequate investments, as well as we have inflation. No.
Inflation is not part.
Lower consumers confidence.
No, I won't take that for a bonus. I won't take that. Yes. Now your major question, University of Ghana. So we have climate change, market fluctuations, inadequate infrastructure, drought, and all of that. Your major question, University of Ghana. According to the monetary policy report undertaken by the Research Department of the Bank of Ghana for the first half of the year, what was the total number of private sector SNIT contributors as at the end of May 2023, May 2024, and the percentage change in the numbers over the 2 periods? According to the monetary policy report undertaken by the Research Department of the Bank of Ghana for the first half of the year, what was the total number of private sector SNIT contributors as at the end of May 2023, May 2024, and the percentage change in the numbers over the 2 periods?
So for May 2023, we have 980,808. And for 2024, we have 100,741. And the percentage change is 2.7%.
Yes, that is correct. GCTU, according to the same report, what was the cumulative total number of private sector SNIT contributors for the first 5 months of 2023, 2024, and a percentage change in the numbers? What was the cumulative total number of private sector SNIT contributors for the first 5 months of 2023, 2024, and a percentage change in the numbers over the 2 periods?
For 2023, we have 4,083,676. Then for 2024, we have 5,624.
Even bailed out. Yes. Bonus for the University of Ghana.
So for 2023, we have 4,829,487. And for 2024, we have 5,063,676. And then the percentage change is 4.8%.
Yes, that is correct. Next set of question, common preamble to the 2 of you. Common preamble. India in 2015 launched the Pradhan Mantri Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, that's a PMA, to provide a puka house to all eligible beneficiaries of urban India by 2022. There are 4 verticals under the PMA scheme. You have to name any 2 of these verticals each. India, in 2015, launched the PMA project to provide puka house to all eligible beneficiaries of urban India by 2022. There are 4 verticals under the PMA scheme. You have to name any 2 of these verticals each, beginning from the University of Ghana.
So we have the credit link subsidy scheme and then the beneficiary link construction.
That is correct. GCTU.
We have the revenue.
No, there's nothing relevant. Unfortunately, there cannot be a bonus. You've exhausted your chances. So it is the in-situ slum redevelopment and the affordable housing in partnership. Next set of questions still begin with the University of Ghana. Eugene, how many mines does Gerald Group have in West and Central Africa? And what is the annual turnover of Gerald Group? How many mines does Gerald Group have in West and Central Africa? And what is the annual turnover of Gerald Group?
So they have 3 mines, and then the annual turnover is 8 billion.
That
US
is
dollars.
correct. GCTU, how many offices does Gerald Group have and across how many countries? How many offices does Gerald Group have and across how many countries?
It is 18 offices in 40 countries.
In what?
40 countries.
That is correct. For our next set of questions, we begin with you, GCTU. GCTU is a common preamble to both schools. Please take note. According to the Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Michael Kofi Ochebe, the focus of the National Export Development Strategy is to grow the country's non-traditional export sector from the current levels. You have to identify 2 each of the 4 goals of this strategy, as indicated in the article. According to the Deputy Minister, there is a strategy called the National Export Development Strategy, and the purpose is to grow the non-traditional export sector from the current levels. You have to give me 2 each of the 4 goals of that strategy, beginning with GCTU.
Private sector development and fostering resilience to shocks and climate
Gavi, no. They've exhausted their chance. You have your chance now, University of Ghana.
So we have value addition and job creation.
Yes, that is correct. So the other ones are business expansion and promoting youth entrepreneurship. Next set of questions, still beginning with you, GCTU. According to the Managing Director of Republic Bank Ghana PLC, 2 major factors contributed to the bank's significant positive outcome in 2023. You have to identify these 2 factors. According to the MD of Republic Bank Ghana PLC, 2 major factors contributed to the bank's significant positive outcome in 2023. What are these 2 factors?
So the 2 factors are customer. Wait. I'm trying to remember. Okay, so there has been an increase in the impairment.
Who is talking? David. Okay, go ahead.
There has been an increase in the impairment.
Now, I think I've given you enough time. I won't accept that. There was no increase in impairment. Now, please bonus for you, University of Ghana.
An increase in interest, net interest income, and a reduction in its impairment.
Yes. So there was rather a reduction in impairment, not an increase. So that is correct for the University of Ghana. According to the same MD of the Republic Bank, The bank employed major strategies to successfully reduce its overall net impairment loss on financial assets by the end of 2023. What are these two strategies? According to the MD of Republic Bank, the bank employed major strategies to successfully reduce its overall net impairment loss on financial assets by the end of 2023. What are these two strategies?
A reduction in its general administrative overheads, and then also
That is not correct. Bonus for GCTU.
Extending its expanding its branches and then also working with the SMEs in the country.
No, please. That will certainly not reduce your net impairment loss. The two main strategies that they employed was effective loan recovery and robust risk management. Those were the two main strategies that they adopted to reduce their net impairment losses. And we take our last set of questions for this round, still beginning with GCTU, but it's a common preamble. As Ghana heads towards the 2024 presidential election, there is a focus on how the two major political parties, the ruling NPP and opposition NDC, plan to revolutionize the country's sports industry through major initiatives to boost infrastructure. Now, GCTU, identify any two funding strategies put forth by the NDC for sports infrastructure development in Ghana. Identify any two funding strategies put forth by the NDC for sports infrastructure development in Ghana.
Okay, so their first strategy is to use public funding and also and also they yes, support from the private sector, partnership with the private sector.
What was the first one that you said?
They'll use public funding or governmental funding.
Okay, I'll accept that. That is correct. So public or government funding as well as private and public sector collaboration. Now, University of Ghana, identify any two funding strategies put forth by the NPP for sports infrastructure development in Ghana. Identify any two funding strategies by the NPP for sports infrastructure development in Ghana.
Okay, so we have the tax incentives as well as sports development and public-private partnership.
Definitely, that is correct. On that note, we come to the end of round 4A. Ladies and gentlemen, please keep the clap coming, keep the clap coming. So we wait for the scores for round 4A, but the contest is a second quarterfinal contest. The winner will progress to the semi-final stage. For the University of Ghana, yes, they were at the semi-final stage last year, same as last 2 years. We'll see whether they'll be able to qualify to the semi-final stage. I think GCTU was in the semi-final last year as well, yes. Yes. So any of these two schools could qualify to repeat what they did last year. Our next quarterfinal contest will be between University of Development Studies from Tamale and Central University. The next contest will be between UDS and Central University. Our scores for round 4A, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of round 4A, GCTU had 6 points, University of Ghana had 18 points. There's a problem? All right, so we will go for a very... All right, so we will come back to the results at the end of round 4B. So we'll come back to correct the results at the end of round 4B. All right, let's go to round 4B, ladies and gentlemen. That is a true or false segment. In this round, I'm going to read out some statement to you. Your duty is to tell me if the statement is true or false. If you get it correct, you have 2 points. If you get it wrong, you suffer a penalty of -1. Each of you will attempt 7 major questions. You are supposed to give me an answer in 10 seconds. You may decide not to answer, in which case we can give it to the other school if they so wish. Please, are we ready? All right. Okay, so GCTU. We are beginning with GCTU. The opinion section of the auditor's report should identify the entity whose financial statement have been audited, true or false. The opinion section of the auditor's report should identify the entity whose financial statement have been audited, true or false.
True.
Yes, it is true. University of Ghana, the basis of opinion section directly precedes the opinion section, true or false. The basis of opinion section directly precedes the opinion section, true or false.
False.
False is correct. GCTU, novation occurs when one party to a contract substitutes a new party in place of the original party with the consent of all parties involved, true or false. Novation occurs when one party to a contract substitutes a new party in place of the original party with the consent of all parties involved, true or false.
True.
Yes, it's true. University of Ghana, accord and satisfaction occur when one party agrees to accept a different form of performance from what was originally promised under the contract, true or false. Accord and satisfaction occur when one party agrees to accept a different form of performance from what was originally promised under the contract, true or false.
False. False.
No, please. It is true. University GCTU, ethical egoism asserts that individuals should act in a way that maximizes their own self-interest regardless of the consequences for others. Ethical egoism asserts that individuals should act in a way that maximizes their own self-interest regardless of the consequences for others. True or false?
True.
Yes, it's true. University of Ghana, in ethical management, virtue ethics focuses on the consequences of actions and adherence to moral rules rather than character of the individual making the decision. True or false? In ethical management, virtue ethics focuses on the consequences of actions and adherence to moral rules rather than the character of the individual making the decision. True or false?
True.
You should have kept quiet. The answer is false. GCTU, Six Sigma projects are led by black belts who are experts in statistical analysis and process improvement techniques. Six Sigma projects are led by black belts who are experts in statistical analysis and process improvement techniques. True or false?
True.
It's true. University of Ghana, Six Sigma black belts typically spend 100% of their time working on Six Sigma project. True or false? Six Sigma black belts typically spend 100% of their time working on Six Sigma projects. True or false?
True.
Yes, true. For our next set of questions, we are beginning with the University of Ghana. Eugene. A bond with a longer maturity always has a higher duration than a bond with a shorter maturity. True or false? A bond with a longer maturity. Okay. I think there's a problem with the question. Let me change this. So I'm changing the question. All right, University of Ghana. Let's do this. Clan culture in organizations emphasizes flexibility, discretion, and internal focus, promoting a family-like environment. True or false? Clan culture. You want to give the answer? Clan culture in organizations emphasizes flexibility, discretion, and internal focus, promoting a family-like environment. True or false?
A true statement.
Yes, that is correct. GCTU, adhocracy culture, is characterized by stability and a focus on internal processes and control. True or false? Adhocracy culture is characterized by stability and a focus on internal processes and control. True or false?
True, sir.
No, it is false. University of Ghana, your major question. The minimum period for submitting bids for international competitive tendering is 8 weeks. True or false? The minimum period for submitting bids for international competitive tendering is 8 weeks. True or false?
False.
It's good you mentioned it because you are correct. It is not 8 weeks, it is 6 weeks. So the question or the answer is false. GCTU. For international competitive tendering, the invitation to tender and the invitation document must be in English. True or false? For international competitive tendering, the invitation to tender and the invitation document must be in English. True or false?
False.
No, it's a true statement. For international competitive tendering, it should be in English. In English. I said international. Is that? Last set of questions for this round. Last set of questions. University of Ghana. Quality control is a reactive process that identifies and corrects defects after they have occurred. True or false? Quality control is a reactive process that identifies and corrects defects after they have occurred. True or false?
False.
No, it is true. Your answer is wrong. Now, GCTU, quality assurance is a proactive approach that focuses on preventing defects through process improvement and standardization. True or false? Quality assurance is a proactive approach that focuses on preventing defects through process improvement and standardization. True or false?
It's true.
It's true. Yeah, sure. Okay, it's true. It is true, ladies and gentlemen. That brings us to the end of round 4B. We have the riddle segment as the last round to come. Ladies and gentlemen, we await the scores for this round. But before then, the corrected score for round 4A. Our corrected score for round 4A. Do we have that? Whilst we wait for that, remember that the program is brought to us by Graphic Business in partnership with the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana and GTech. Our proud sponsors are MTN, PwC, NAT, Glycolife, Compi Ghana, and World Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round 4A, GCTU had 6 points, University of Ghana had 20 points. Our scores for round 4B, ladies and gentlemen, if that is also ready. If it's not ready, we are reminded that the next contest will be between UDS and Central University. A place at the semi-final is at stake. One of these two schools will qualify to the semi-final stage. There is no ifs or buts. Once you lose, you are out of the competition. There is no coming back this time. At the end of round 4B, the scores. University of Ghana had 5 points, GCTU had 8 points. Please show some love. I can't hear you. Okay. Thank you. We have one more round to go. Okay, this is the riddle segment. Now in this round, I'm going to give you a set of clues. Your duty is to tell me who or what I'm referring to. There'll be 5 riddles in all, and there'll be 5 clues. If you get the answer correct on the first clue, it is 5 points. Second clue is 4 points. Answering correctly on any other clue thereafter is 3 points. If you get it wrong, you can no longer partake in that riddle. But like I said, they are open to both schools, and you are supposed to indicate your readiness by ringing the bell. Let me hear the bell from GCTU and that of University of Ghana. Riddle number 1. I am a legal entity created to fulfill narrow, specific, or temporary objectives. 2. I may be owned by one or more other entities, and certain jurisdictions may require ownership by certain parties in specific percentages. 3. I am typically used by companies to isolate the firm from financial risk, although I have been used in the past by companies to hide financial losses. 4. My legal status as a separate company makes my obligations secure, even if my parent company goes bankrupt. For this reason, I am sometimes called a bankruptcy remote entity. 5. I am a fenced organization having limited predefined purposes and a legal personality. Who am I? University of Ghana.
Holding company.
No, it is not a holding company. You've exhausted your chance. GCTU, are you answering? The time should be running. All right. It is called a special purpose vehicle or special purpose entity. Riddle number 2. I am a significant concern in auditing that can compromise the objectivity and independence of auditors. 2. I am one of the 5 major threats that may compromise an auditor's independence. 3. I undermine the objectivity and independence of the auditor because I may lead to biased reporting and a lack of critical scrutiny. 4. Some of my major courses or my common courses include the provision of non-audit services, preparation of financial statements, GCTU,
advocates.
That is not correct. You've exhausted your chance. University of Ghana, you also rang your bell.
Self-review threat.
Self-review threat is correct. They answered on the third clue 3 points. 3 points. Riddle number 2. I am a branch of management accounting that deals with cost reduction and reporting, where the company's management, budgeting, and internal accounting are all held accountable. 2. My fundamental goal is to assist all of a company's planning, costing, and responsibility centers. 3. Under me, University of Ghana.
Responsibility accounting.
Responsibility accounting is correct. I had started the third clue, so 3 points. Riddle number 4. Riddle number 4. I am a formal process used by organizations to gather information from potential suppliers or service providers. 2. I am typically used during the early stages of a procurement process to understand the market offerings, assess potential solutions, and shortlist vendors for further evaluation. 3. I am primarily used to gather information to help make a decision on what steps to take next. 4. I help organizations make informed decisions by collecting detailed information before proceeding to more specific procurement stages. Yes, GCTU.
Request for information.
Request for information is correct. They answered on the fourth clue 3 points. 3 points. And now the last riddle for this contest, ladies and gentlemen. Last riddle. I am an office established under the Ghana Revenue Authority to provide efficient and effective services to taxpayers. University of Ghana.
Area office.
Oh no. I continue for the benefit of GCTU. I was introduced as part of the Domestic Tax Revenue Division's transformational agenda to champion revenue growth, modernization, and structural transformation. I'm established based on need. I'm located in each of Ghana's 16 regions, and where necessary, I have additional offices in some regions for efficiency. I'm a tax office deployed across the country to deliver seamless tax services with a focus on small and medium taxpayers. 5. I am an amalgamation of 2 previous separate offices, the medium taxpayer office and the small taxpayer office. Who am I? Go ahead, yes.
The domestic tax office.
That is not correct. That is not correct. You want to change your mind now? What would you have said differently?
Taxpayer service.
Taxpayer Service Center. But unfortunately, you said it too fast. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the contest between the University of Ghana and the Ghana Communication Technology University. So in this final round, University of Ghana had 2 riddles correct. GCTU had 1 correct. So University of Ghana had 6 points. GCTU had 3 points. We await the final results to know who won this contest and who progressed to the semi-final stage. But before then, GCTU, your assessment of the contest. General assessment.
We did our best, but our best wasn't the best.
Have you considered defeat?
Not yet. Yeah, you have to await the final results.
All right. So this is a semi-final. This is a quarter-final stage. Should you not make it beyond this point, what will be your major takeaway from the TBSC? Yeah. Please continue. Play the sound. Go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank my teammates. Like, they've really been of help, and I've really learned a lot from this. And contesting last year and this year has really equipped me, like, in terms of skill and knowledge. And I'm really grateful for this opportunity. And also, I want to thank my school for giving me this opportunity to represent them. I know that I'm not the best student on campus, but they place their trust in me to represent them, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. What about you, Abigail?
My greatest takeaway is going to be first achieving this milestone, because in life every milestone is very important. Then second, to have the urge to encourage and advise those who will be coming next year on our mistakes and our basis to do better and to go for trophy next year.
Okay. All right. And you?
I'm also grateful for this opportunity because I've learned a lot being part of this team, especially about teamwork and collaborations. And then I also want to encourage those coming, because we are going, those coming next year, that they should learn from our mistakes and stay focused. I also want to thank Graphic Business for organizing this prestigious contest to help us showcase our intellectual property.
Thank you very much, GCTU. At the University of Ghana, you need to talk to me. Emeka, talk to me. Yes. So, what do you make of this contest, first of all?
Yeah, so as we always say, whenever we come here to contest, we always get to know areas where we have to work on. So it's always a learning curve for us. And we always have that mindset that you don't know everything. And there's definitely room for improvements at every round we find ourselves.
Yeah. Jonathan?
I think my brother has said it all.
Hey, rather.
It has always been a learning curve, yeah. And I think the more you learn, the more you know. You should learn more, and then, I mean, keep building on what you are learning currently. So it's still a learning curve.
Yeah. Okay. And then, is it Prince? Yeah. Yes.
Well, just like they were all saying, they've said it all. But what I'll add up to it is this one is the decisive moment. Although you might be dominating from all the rounds, but the last round is the decisive moment. And if you take race, it's a 50-50 something. Yeah. So it's either you make it or you don't make it. Yeah. So that's what I've learned from.
All right, definitely. We all learn a thing or two on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the end of the contest, the final results. At the end of the contest, these are the final results. Ghana Communication Technology University, 37.5 points. University of Ghana, 62 points. By this result, the University of Ghana has qualified once again to the semi-final of the Tertiary Business Science Challenge 2024. Congratulations to University of Ghana. GCTU, unfortunately, this is where your journey in the Tertiary Business Science Challenge 2024 version 6.0 will have to come to an end. You did well, you did your best, but like you said, on the day, your best was not enough. The University of Ghana were superior on the day. Valuable lessons have been learned. Go back and train the next batch to come back stronger and take the trophy next year. So thank you so much for coming, GCTU. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a quarter-final contest has come to an end, with the Premier University, the University of Ghana, qualifying to the semi-final. We already have the University of Cape Coast there. The next contest will be between the University of Development Studies and the Central University. The winner of that contest will join them as well in the semi-final. So on behalf of our sponsors, on behalf of our technical team and everybody who was part of this contest, we say thank you so much, our studio audience, as well as those of you who watch us from online. Our organizers, Graphic Business, ICAG and GTech, our sponsors, MTN, PwC, GlycoLife, CompuGhana, NAT, and then Gold Ghana, Media Partners TV3, Daily Graphic Online. Our production team, Jacob Doku, David Abel, David Gazor, Mr. Asare, Felix Tay, AJ Alfred Ako, Prosper Zuma, Hussein Zakari, Ivonai, NSJC Francis, as well as Seth. And of course, Franklin and Harrison from ICAG for supporting this contest. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Al Hassan Yusuf Traore. Until I see you in the next contest between UDS and Central University, I say thank you so much for being part of this contest. Once again, you know what? I love academic violence. I'll see you at the next episode of Academic Violence. Bye-bye for now.
At ICAG, we stand for leadership and we are inspired to offer more. Leadership stands up to be answerable. We use our national and international conferences to tell our story and hold ourselves to high global benchmarks. Leadership is where brilliance